What is up everyone, it's Lovenji here, and welcome back to the Populous The Beginning series. Now, today we're going to be looking at Mission 19, which is called Unlikely Allies, and it plays with a multiplayer mechanic, actually, which is the ability to ally to other tribes. It's only used once, and that is in this mission, and we will be seeing how helpful our ally is. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it, let's get this mission underway. Okay, so this is Unlikely Allies, and we're sped up just because the first part of this mission is essentially building the tribe, as it is for almost every mission. Now, this mission has us allied with the Chumara against the much more powerful Dakini. It features a special loss condition in that if our allies are defeated, we are also automatically defeated. We will get a level failed and be booted out of the mission. Now that Stonehead contains another guest spell. Guest spells, as I've explained before, like the Armageddon spell, are one-time use spells that may appear in a mission only once. I believe this spell only appears once. I only recall it being in this mission, though it may be in others. I'm not a big fan of praying at Stoneheads, as you've seen. We'll be doing it a couple of times in this mission. One later for a really powerful spell, and here to gain the teleport spell. Now, I actually react a little slow here, but you're going to teleport onto this cliff and zap her before she can erode that cliff. Because now, eroding that cliff opens up our ally. So I'm just going to take pot shots at her army to try and stop the first wave coming in. As you can see from the size of the army, and the mission has only just begun, the Dakini throw full force at the Chumara. And it really requires smart shaman usage to be able to manage, as opposed to trying to match them army for army. There's no way you'd have a good enough army to be able to match them at this point in the game. Now, the game only gives you 3 teleports, so you have to be careful. You have to manage your shaman very carefully so as not to die. I don't do that. You've pretty much always already seen I don't manage my shaman particularly well, even if I try to. So I put that guard tower on that little ledge there just to increase the rate at which my base expands, as well as one down here. The shape of your starting island is very, very weird. And not the most intuitive. Once you've got that first hut there, you tear that guard tower down, because that guard tower actually blocks your followers getting through. So you use it purely for the extended build radius, build something, then tear it down so it doesn't block your followers. I have, with some very interesting terraforming, connected all the little hills on the side of the base. And that's led to some interesting results. Putting guard towers on them and filling them with fire warriors makes you very difficult to attack. But as fun as that was to experiment with, it's really not very much use for this mission, because as you've no doubt seen, this mission is very heavy on protecting the allies. You've seen we've had to quell 2 pretty powerful attacks to the Chumara already. And the Chumara don't have a particularly powerful tribe. It's not helped by the fact that the Dakini will come in all guns blazing. I think her first attack she'll use Tornado and Earthquake. So she comes in hitting really hard. Another channel experimented with what happens if you do nothing in this level, and the Dakini just stormrolled the Chumara. So, all that happens for the beginning parts of the game is that the Dakini just land the occasional warrior on your island and harass you. Now, it's not cost effective, you really could just train a couple of warriors to defend yourself, but throw enough braves at a warrior and you'll eventually beat him. And that's what I do to handle this here. Eventually, the Dakini will send a gigantic attack for you, which is one of the reasons why it's important to build up so quickly. I'm being very, very cautious about how I build up, and I'm making sure I get my training huts down. If you've been watching the other videos, you know I don't particularly prioritize training huts because I do most things with the shaman, but I've got the training huts down just in case I mess up. You may notice that there's only a small body of water separating us, a small enough body of water that would easily be covered by the land bridge spell. The AI is indeed scripted to cast a land bridge to gain access to your base after a couple of attacks to the Chumara. I like it because the script almost tells the story. It's like the Dakini are here to defeat the Chimera, they realise you're here, they defeat you and the Chimera, if you do nothing. So this mission punishes inactivity, and you know me, I'm a big one for inactivity. It's all about making sure you're, how do I say it, inactive in the right way. Oh yeah, I had a problem with my mouse here. There we go, fixed it. I started panicking because I realised my mouse was getting very, very stuck and it was making it very difficult to aim. That follow-up was not me demonstrating that was me just being bad at aiming. So I get annoyed here because I hate Magical Shield, it's not fair. That Shaman was exposed, but she wasn't exposed. As I said, I've previously explained how Magical Shield works in that if the shield, the little spell trail that launches the spell, comes into contact with the shield, it will reflect. Which means you can spell shield a Shaman. You can spell shield warriors that are guarding a Shaman, specifically 6 of them, have them patrol the Shaman in that circular formation known as the Guard, and it will actually serve as a spell shield for your Shaman. And the only way to kill her then is to drop a swamp on her, or hope you get hypnotized. It should be noted that when you hypnotize spell shielded people, you don't convert the spell shield as well. They lose the spell shield, so a quick Shaman could react and get rid of her own followers if you only hypnotize them. Swamp has target priority. If there are 20 followers in a small amount of radius within the swamp and one of those is the Shaman, it will always make sure the Shaman dies before any of the other followers. So you can drop a swamp directly on a Shaman even if she's guarded by like 30 men. She will die and 9 men will also die. There's a really interesting gimmick you can do with the teleport spell and the land bridge, in that you can teleport to a location and cast land bridge at your old location, and she will actually create essentially a land bridge from her new teleport location to the old location, which allows you to create gigantic land bridges across half the map. It has no real use in any of the single player missions, particularly because we don't get the teleport spell all that often, and it's really not helpful here. But it's just something to bear in mind, a fun little spell combination that you can actually do. So at this point I'm just trying to push in with Tornado. I've got enough mana regeneration that the Tornado spell is recovering relatively quickly. And I'm just trying to cause as much hut damage as possible. As you've seen, the Dakini playing a numbers game with their followers, and I'm trying to dwindle that number. Now what you're witnessing is actually the attack on us that they are gathering for there, and you'll see it in a second come running past. So she's there, gonna kill her very quickly because they need her for the land bridge, and that's the first attack on you, so it goes 3 attacks to the Chimera and then an attack on you. I'm just gonna deal with that very quickly. I do show off for a little bit the spell avoid conflict spam, but it gets me killed. I was desperately trying to hit that guard tower with a tornado. So there's very little you can do while the Shaman's dead, except for just play around a little bit, make sure your huts are populated, do what you can to generate as much mana as possible. As Jordan said in the comments, what I could be doing with all these Braves is making sure they patrol something, just so that they continue to generate mana. What I'm actually going to do instead is go and pray. Pray for power, etc, etc. So we've done considerable damage to the Dakini on that side of the island, and there's a reason why we focus that side of the island with all our spells. And now we're going to pray to this Stonehead. This Stonehead takes a little bit of time to pray at, but the Dakini aren't particularly threatened by you praying at it. And you may notice a very inconspicuous looking hole that might look an awful lot like a volcano right next to us. I wonder what that will do. It's a mystery. Yeah, it's a volcano. When you pray to stoneheads, sometimes, as well as giving you a spell, an effect will happen somewhere. And in this instance, that hole is going to turn into a volcano. Which, if you think about it, all the Dakini buildings are on this side of the map. That's very helpful for us in actually closing out this mission. So I'm just checking on my tribe. It's because the Stonehead itself also contains a powerful spell, as well as having that extra bonus. It takes quite some time to pray to. As you can see, all the Dakini structures are stuck on this side of the map. They're slowly starting to rebuild on the other side of the map. But everything of note, including their training huts, are on this side. I'll whack the game speed up. Oh, the Stonehead was also a volcano, so we actually get access to 2 volcanoes now. So that first one goes off there, and is wonderful, and I'm going to do a quick teleport and cast to get the rest of the base. Now, it just so happened they were planning an attack at the same time, so that works out wonderfully for us in terms of getting the maximum amount of kills possible. And just like that, with one simple Stonehead pray, we're pretty much in the final stages of the game, in which we just need to seek out constructed huts and break them down, and make the tribe enter surrender mode. Boats are exploding, if only to annoy me further. We hate boats. Even when we're not forced to use boats, they still find a way to be annoying to us. So I'm just looking for constructed huts, having a little bit of a fist fight with the Preacher. I actually misinterpreted that Preacher's attack as him being in desperation mode. I thought he was very specifically looking to fight me because the AI had given up. That's not the case. The AI still had a couple of huts that were preventing them from wanting to surrender. So I had to go and deal with those. And you have this wonderful... The end stages of the game are always really satisfying because all you have to do is just walk through the enemy tribe and just destroy everything. Like, calmly, casually, with your spells. Cause as much destruction as you possibly want. And this pretty much convinces the AI to enter surrender mode once we clean up a couple of followers here and there. It has no ability to make additional braves, and once its number of trained followers reaches a low enough amount, it will give up. And that is when it throws everything at you. Which is what's happening now. You can see the way that all those warriors and fire warrior are trying to charge me down. And we're going to take care of it pretty easily with a well-placed swamp. Or 2. And that is this mission. That was mission 19, which features us playing off against the Chumara, and as you can see, they did a whole lot of help, in that they didn't help us at all. As always, let me know what you thought of the video, don't forget to like and leave a comment, and tell me what you'd like to see done in the future. Bye for now.